lame. That's right, she is lame. How you guys doing? It's Comics League Dark. I'm Jarrett. I'm here with the boys. I got Talati and JJheat. What is up, gentlemen?
Flame on! How's everybody doing tonight?
Woo!
What is up, everybody, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube?
So today we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk about the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 trailer. We're gonna talk about Superman's really weird release schedule. And then we are going to just have a Q&A and just hang out with you guys. So let's get started. You guys want to talk about Sonic or Superman first?
Let's go and get the obvious out the way.
Let's get the obvious out the way.
We finally got Shadow the Hedgehog in live action.
Yes!
But here's the thing. This trailer reminds me so much of Sonic X, the cartoon show.
And you know what's hilarious? Here's what I realized when I saw the trailer. So Keanu Reeves nails it. Isn't it kind of funny? JJheat, isn't it kind of funny how Shadow is the Sonic character that uses guns and he's being voiced by John Wick?
I mean, it's perfect casting if you really
I know, right?
He's the John Wick of the Sonic universe.
You better believe we're going to get a Shadow the Hedgehog movie. And I'm like, please. Don't wuss out on it. Give me Shadow with guns and a motorcycle.
To be fair, the game did flop commercially, so it might not happen.
He had guns in the Sonic. In any depiction of Shadow, eventually he uses a gun. He's basically Sonic's Punisher. Imagine fan art of Shadow, but with the Punisher skull.
I just had a thought.
Yeah.
What if he becomes Super Shadow?
Yes. And so we do have the super character. So hey, what's up, Brown? Hey, what's up, Cameron? How you guys doing? So, yeah, so that trailer just looked really good. It looked really, really fun. And just think, all this started because the studio actually listened to the audience and fixed a Sonic design.
Warner Brothers, take some advice. Take some hints. Take some notes.
What's your underrated movie of Keanu Reeves? It can be non-superhero related.
Constantine.
Yeah,
I gotta go Constantine because here's the thing. When we covered it for movie night, one of the things I thought about when I was watching, I was like, why is this movie not talked about more? It's actually really good.
It's a great film.
It's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I understand to a degree because Constantine is still not like a character that like a lot of the general audience talks about, but I still think it's pretty cool. It was a pretty cool movie.
It's more of it's not his best work, but it's a pretty good movie type of deal.
It's no Matrix 4. Let me put it to you that way. But so let me ask you guys this. So what's your favorite part of the trailer? I'll start with Taladia.
It's gotta be Shadow with the bike sliding.
Akira reference. Okay.
Yeah, reference. That was my favorite moment of the trailer. And I've got to say, I like the fact that Knuckles goes, oh, I also want to fight this dude. I want to fight him. And then he gets his arm, his hand broken.
Yes.
Like, I was like, you know, there's memes of that already.
Yes, I know. I also love Shadow going, well, you're a colorful bunch.
I hope Phoenix Press has that phone because I called it.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Brown said because Constantine is British, not American, and not brunette, but that's probably why it's probably underrated. Because you know how purist comic book fans can be. As Snyder fans, we are very well aware of that. But yeah, all in all, the trailer looked great. I liked how they actually used his jet boots because I'm like, are they really going to use those? And they actually did his teleporting move. I was like, yes. JJheat, your favorite parts of the trailer?
Definitely the raid on Space Colony Art. You don't see much of it. It's mostly in relation to what happens to Maria and the spoilers for a 20-year-old video game. But let's just say something happens to Shadow's close friend during the raid.
Wait, so you're telling me a character voiced by Keanu Reeves loses something very close to him and he goes on a killing spree?
Yes.
This is cartoon John Wick. This is what this is. This is literally John Wick.
No, but Jared, here's the point of the trailer though, is the fact that you got Dr. Robotnik's father
grandfather.
And they finally gave him the gut. He now has the Eggman gut.
Everyone was like, oh, Robotnik's going to come back. Jim Carrey's done. And I remember Max reacting to the trailer, and I said, Max, Just you wait. Just you wait. And then he saw it's like, wait, he probably got a bigger pay. Or because they gave him a bigger role or something. I'm just like,
I'm
nah,
sure.
I'm just like, I think Jim Carrey's gonna knock this one.
Yeah.
This out of the park when it comes down to being big Robotnik. That's
Yeah,
the best.
absolutely. Brown Destroyer says Flash versus the Sonic the Hedgehog universe.
I've seen
Flash all day.
I've seen something Sonic and was it Sonic and Flash? It
Or
was
was it
something.
Sonic and Superman, if I remember correctly?
No, it was something to do with Sonic and Hedgehog, Sonic and Flash in a where a crossover with all the universes or trying to get rid of the germs and everything. I saw this on YouTube.
But here's the thing: when it comes to Sonic versus the Flash, here's why the Flash wins. The Flash can run so fast he goes back in time. I'm pretty sure Sonic can't do that.
That is true.
That's like the most surface level. Oh, he's fast and he's fast, so they must so who would win? The guy that literally created an entire universe just by going back in time and changing one detail. Yeah.
Now, if you're talking about Archie comic Sonic, it's arguable he can time travel, but it's very close.
But you know what?
Wait, there was an Archie Comics Sonic crossover.
No, I'm just saying Archie Sonic is the most powerful version.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
But you know, here's something interesting. Sonic did have comics, right?
Mhm.
So
Right.
I've been looking.
And I read they were weird.
I was just like thinking, wait, Sonic had
okay, this is more believable. Quicksilver versus Sonic the Hedgehog, because Quicksilver is nowhere near as fast as Flash. I got to give this one to Sonic.
Yeah, that's
not as fast.
That's a better matchup. Flash is a curb stomp. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. And I got to give that one to Sonic. Because because here's the thing: while Quicksilver is fast and runs, he can only run and punch. Sonic can actually dash at you really fast with his little homing attacks thing, and he can turn Super Saiyan. So I'm pretty sure that Quicksilver can't do that.
Super Saiyan, yeah, definitely.
That's pretty much it.
But you know what's also interesting is that the team have got the what's it called, Green Emerald, right?
Mm-hmm.
In their possession. So imagine if Shadow is chasing after that in the movie.
I can imagine that. I think at one point we'll see a Chaos Control or a Chaos Blast.
I just had to.
Would you all be all right if this is Paramount's last Sonic movie? If they end it and actually conclude the story, sure, that's fine. I don't think this will be the last thing.
No,
because these movies make way too much money. I think this will be the last Sonic movie for a while, but we could get a Shadow movie.
No,
I will say.
Go on, you go first.
I'm sorry. This is just my personal opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. Let's say Paramount, okay, the superhero trend is falling off. We need something new to make ourselves stand out. Oh, we'll start with a Sonic movie. Okay, standard video game fare. Let's just, typical live action approach with make a buddy cop road trip movie. Then the second one, you get pretty much a straightforward adaptation of Sonic. Is it Sonic 3 or not? Yeah, Sonic 3. And then now we're cutting all the way to Sonic Adventure 2. I'm not going to say it's the best trilogy out there, because going from Sonic 3 all the way to Sonic Adventure 2, that is a leap. That's like 6 to 8 games. 6 to 8 game gap. Like that is a leap story-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But you trim the fat, it's doable.
Yeah, you could.
But I know for a fact that they're going to expand on this universe, but we still haven't got Amy, we still haven't got the Rogue, we still haven't got those characters yet.
There's no way they don't expand this. If Sonic 3 does just as well as the first two, there's no way they're gonna say this is the end of this universe. There's just no way they're that financially stupid. Hey, what's up, David? How you doing, my brother?
Sir, dude.
And Brown Destroyed.
Which comics? Which company publishes this? JJheat, do you know this?
IDW used to for the longest time, but I want to say they still have the publishing rights for Sonic comics, but they might have gone to somebody else. I cannot confirm at this time, but last time I checked, it was IDW.
What would be best? What would be the best, by the way, going back to the Shadow movie? I would love if the opening credit sequence for Shadow the Hedgehog, they just rip it right from the game, except live action.
Mm-hmm.
That would be best case scenario.
Yeah, there you go. So hyped to see Sonic 3. I'm watching the first in preparation. Yeah, they have some sweet hardcovers. Yeah, they do. But geez, I gotta say, again, I was a little concerned. How are they going to do Shadow? Because normally Hollywood doesn't do brooding, like anti-hero like characters justice. Punisher.
You're never gonna
But
let that go, are you?
No.
as long as that creep is still Punisher, I'm not gonna let that. As long as Frank Castle is still wallowing in hell, I think where he is, I'm never gonna let that go. But back to this, when I saw what they, because Shadow tore them all apart, and I'm like, that is Shadow right there. He is that badass.
And he can like pop like what's it called? Not Pokey Dot
Teleport.
man. Yeah, teleport. That's the word. Yeah, he can teleport. Like they took them out in one shot. He took out Fish, took out Knuckles, then he took out Tails, and
Knuckles he took out brutally. He caught his fist and just broke it.
Broke it immediately. I'm just like
Knuckles, the tough guy of the team, whose his thing is just punching people.
And then there's a meme of that, guys. So if you want to
there
look at
is a
those
meme
memes,
of that.
look those memes up. So
Oh no, that Mufasa movie's gonna get blown out the water. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah,
like you're comparing a remake.
Why are you making Mufasa?
You want? I guess they're trying to make Scar more sympathetic, but it's no different than any other noble or kingmaker morality tale. The extended sibling gets snubbed because the current one in line has a kid. Scar pulls a power play, and I'm not going to spoil a 30, almost 40-year-old movie because you've seen at least one version of it a dozen times.
Yes, exactly.
No, but what they should have done for that Mufasa film, they should have made that the first film, then do the Lion King.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, do these in order. Exactly.
Yeah.
By the way, Brown says, why don't they make a Mask movie? They did. It starred Jim Carrey. And it was actually really fun. I liked that movie.
And yet it never got a sequel, apparently.
It did.
Yeah,
we don't talk about Taladia.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. It did, JJheat. Hey, I think we found a new thing for JJheat to react to it for a milestone. The Mask 2, Son of the Mask. You're watching Son of the Mask, dude.
April Fools. That would be your thing.
The silence. That's all we need. That's what's happening. That's what's happening, JJheat. Brown says WB probably doesn't have the money to make a Flash movie. Well, the first time they did it didn't exactly work out for them, did it?
He means to say WB doesn't have the money to make the Mask movie.
Yeah, probably. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, they probably don't, but WB doesn't have money for a lot of things.
WB doesn't own the rights to the Mask, though.
Wait, who does own the rights to the Mask? That's a question for a different stream, but that is something worth asking.
The rights to the Mask franchise. It is okay. So let me see. Owners: New Line Cinema, Warner Brothers Discovery.
Oh,
wait.
Okay.
So you're telling me we could get a movie where the Joker puts the mask on?
Yeah, but if it ain't Jim Carrey, it's not worth making the movie.
I know. I always thought Jim Carrey would actually make a good Joker.
You know, I had a thought though.
Ooh, he could pull it off.
Back in the day. Obviously not now, he's too old, but I'm saying back in the day.
Yeah, he could have done the Joker, yeah.
If you're going as far back as the Schumacher films, he could pull off a decent Joker. He would just need he would have needed a very good script.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to say, Taladia?
I can see a darker tone for the Mask. You know, a remake of it, right?
Well, actually, you know what's kind of funny? The comics for the Mask are like really dark. I've heard.
Yeah,
so they make it like The Crow,
but better.
But no, The Crow was good. But they make it like that dark, where he's like the Punisher, basically.
Which Crow are we talking about? 2024? You're talking about 1994?
The one we watched.
Wait, y'all watched the remake or the original?
The original for movie night.
Okay, because I was about to say that remake is You know,
I
I'm
didn't
just gonna
watch
say
it. I'm not interested.
you're better off, man. It is hot garbage.
It's the same reason I love that Hakabai. Nice. Same reason why I'm not watching. I'm not buying that Watchmen animated movie, because why would I want to watch the animated version of Watchmen when I have the live action movie?
Made by Zack Snyder.
Yeah, made by Zack Snyder. When the writer of the film is like very snarky, going, "It's accurate to the comics," and I'm like, "Oh, shut up, bro."
And
Aren't
yes,
you?
Brand.
Wait. Aren't you the same guy who? It may not have been him, but aren't you the same guy that you've changed animated movies before? So let's just get beyond that BS. And by yes, Loki.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's yes.
Alan Cumming was the Loki in Son of the Mask.
Okay. And Cameron Bailey says WB doesn't have the money to make a Looney Tunes movie. Ain't that the truth? When you have a company that's $9 billion devalued, oh my gosh. I'm not sure if Brandon Lee was the son of Bruce Lee, but yes, I think it was done by Brandon Lee.
Yeah, he is. No, Brandon Lee was.
He's the son of Bruce Lee? Wow. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he is related to Bruce Lee. Yeah.
That is really cool. But anyway, so all in all, it looks like a really great movie. CGI looks great, and I cannot wait for this one. I cannot wait. And before you guys ask, we will be covering those movies at some point, probably tomorrow.
Yeah, we will be covering Sonic the Hedgehog, the first film.
Yeah, at least the first film tomorrow. We're gonna do that, and then maybe next week we'll do Sonic 2 or something like that. But anyway, we'll update you guys more on that later. But anyway, so you guys want to transition to Superman?
Yes.
Transition.
And yes, missed opportunity with no Rose the Bat. But let me put it to you this way: ambiguous gender. They probably want to. What they're doing here is kind of smart, because they want to like introduce these elements slowly instead of overload the audience. Start with Shadow, and then you can bring in the team. Plus, well, here's the thing too: we don't know if the team is if Team Shadow is not gonna be shown or alluded to in the movie too. It could be they just weren't in the trailer. So it's not like they won't be there yet. So let's not like go, oh, they're probably not going to have her in there, because really the selling point of that movie is Shadow. Let's be honest.
I'm just gonna say this before we move on. If there's no Omega in this movie, wasted opportunity. The memes alone.
Yes. All right. Superman Surrounded. Let's do this, and I will go to this. All right, Superman Surrounded. All right, so here's why I titled it this way. So in Superman's current release schedule, it's following Jurassic World, and then what's following it is Fantastic Four, which I saw the release schedule. Unless something moves, I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, James Gunn is going to move that date. He's going to put it to Superman anniversary.
I don't think so, because that's also the date that's like his dad's birthday, and that has personal meaning to him. I don't think he's going to do it. He should, because otherwise, because that's going to hurt the box office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly if you're trying to make this movie like the most important movie of their DCU, because it really is. Because if this doesn't work, your entire universe is dead. It's what do you guys think? I'll start with Taladia.
So I had a conversation with William from the Sci-Fi Center about this last night, and I literally said to him that Superman needs to move, right? The whole purpose of it moving is basically for it to be a success. If it doesn't move and it stays that date, you're going to struggle at the box office, because you're in between $2 billion, franchises that will overtake Superman easily, right? Jurassic World will make $1 billion. That's without a shadow of a doubt.
All of them have done really well, so it's not like they've monetarily flopped.
And then Fantastic Four will be another film that will make more money than Superman.
I'm not sure about that one, but if it performs as well as it looks, we're in good shape in terms of Fantastic Four being good.
But remember, Fantastic Four, it's more budget put into that film than Superman was. So if you think about it, it'll make more money, and it's already an established universe. right?
True. There is
So
that.
there's
Plus,
a backing for
Marvel's
that.
starting to bring back some of the people that left because of like Deadpool and Wolverine stuff. Brown asked a good question. When do you guys think the trailer is gonna come?
Brazil Comic Con at
I'd
the
say
end of the
More
so.
than
year.
likely. More than likely.
Yeah. So JHeat, what do you think of the predicament Superman is in?
Okay. The MCU is gaining some kind of momentum after Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's go ahead and get that out of the
Yep,
way.
it is.
Let's establish that. Please, and I'm not even a business major, but I have had experience with business and other dealings like this. For the love of God, push this film back. It is not worth it. I don't care if you have to justify it through reshoots. I don't care if you have to restructure the script. You cannot have this movie in between Fantastic Four, Jurassic World. First of all, Jurassic World is going to blow it out of the bloody water just for the fact that it's a more successful IP alone. And then Fantastic Four, you might not, it might make less than you. But even then, why take that risk? It is connected to a much more successful franchise. You're already going to be undercut momentum because you're already gunning for a summer release, pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
It's too big of a risk. From a commercial standpoint, it is too big of a risk given where Warner Bros. Discovery is right now.
JHeat, I got a question for you. Would you
Sure.
release it a month before, or would you delay it like 3 months down the line?
If I had to play it smart, I would bank mostly for the holiday season towards Christmas. That would be a safer way to go about it rather than trying to cut it at the tail end of the spring release market on top of some late 2024, early 2025 releases.
So you wouldn't do it on Superman's anniversary?
Although marketing-wise you could pull it off, given the competition, I would push for the fall to winter release schedule. It's just too big of a risk.
Because remember, there's been plenty of examples of DC films flopping because of that. Now, there are a lot of reasons why Justice League flopped. But one of the reasons was, look at where it came out in between. Thor 3, which was okay, and
An improvement from Dark World.
Infinity War. Yeah,
No.
it got its ass kicked for many reasons. TJ, I love TJ. Superman is a Christmas film.
Nah, it can't be a Christmas
Christmas
film.
with Superman.
No, but if I was James Gunn, if I was smart, I would move this film to June because it has to move. There's no way you keep it in the same slot because it's gonna deem a failure then, and then Zaslav will be like, "Oh, we're not gonna continue on with what you're doing."
And David brings up an excellent point here. Man of Steel was the biggest Superman box office, and Superman has not performed super well ever. It has to move. Yeah, again, it would be. I say this a lot. It would be one thing if this were a Batman movie we're talking about, because Batman could compete. I'm 100% sure
Easily.
the Batman brand is strong enough to compete. Superman, though, I wouldn't even put a Wonder Woman movie in between these two.
No, because you got $2 billion franchises literally within a couple of weeks of each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I was Warner Brothers, I'd be telling James Gunn, move the date forward, bring it forward. Don't obviously I get the people say like push it back and whatnot, but there's no point of you pushing it back, right? Because he's not doing reshoots. He's not doing reshoots. So
so this is all in, all one cut. Okay,
yeah.
Given that context, you probably could get away with a spring release, but it's still a gamble. It's still going to be a gamble.
By the way, I love TJ's pun. With James
Gunn
Gunn and his ego-sized, ego planet-sized ego, he won't do it. First off, TJ, excellent pun, good sir. Excellent pun. And it's true, because I think James Gunn is like, no, my name is attached to it. I think it'll do well. And it's Superman. I'm sure it'll do, but it will do just well. But I'm like, again, Superman does not have that strong of a brand yet. Can it build up to it? Yes. But right now, with the way DC's reputation is, I wouldn't risk it. Again, all we're saying is move it. Move its release date. Forward or back, whichever way, just get it out of that corner.
Ian makes a good point.
He works for Guardians. Superman's a completely different ballpark. True. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a different ballpark. Yes, and I think
Marvel,
right.
you could get away with this because Marvel has a stronger brand placed with the general audience that DC does since they jumped on Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Brown, I think the brand was damaged
Before
from
that.
No, it wasn't before that. It was actually, I would say, Josh Reed. He must not be named. I almost said it.
No. This came out before He Who Must Not Be Named.
Oh, okay.
He's talking about Superman Returns. Yeah, that's what started it because they went too hard into the Christopher Reeve nostalgia. No, Brown is right on that. And then they got some clout back with Man of Steel. And the Snyderverse saved Superman's brand. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah,
that's
true. Objectively true in terms of box office. He was starting to make more money. Then they just get rid of it. And then you wonder what happened. Right? Do you guys hear that there's a rumor that there was going to be a Matt Reeves
we'll
game?
We'll be talking
momentarily.
Yes. Give us a moment, Isaac. We will be talking about that, good sir. And yes, we did hear that rumor. This Superman film should be rebranded. Okay. But the thing about so ultimately, I really feel like they need to really they really need to. It didn't just save it. It brought new life into it and made it feel. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Superman. Superman was made relevant to the modern generation by Zack Snyder, and the audio and the people on Twitter don't want to admit that because then they don't want to say that they don't want to admit that they're old.
But the thing is, Jared, right? Like, here's the thing: when it comes down to Superman brand right now, it needs to be top notch. Yeah. Zaslav is looking to make every buck he can from the Superman name because he's gonna sell off the studio
first chance he gets.
The first chance he gets, because the fact is he's not gonna stay in power for long.
No. And the minute he's gone, you can't tell me they're gonna keep all of his plans unless they really like it. But DJ says, Man of Steel made me enjoying the Superman brand. I was more of a Superboy fan over Superman. That's true. I was more. I gotta be honest. I was more of a Batman fan because again, this was before I started reading the books, and I didn't because I always thought Superman was a weeb. I thought he was the lame character. I'm gonna be honest with that. Because of the perception that I got from the way I was now watching the Reeves movies. I appreciate them now for like what they did for superhero films. But when we get to like Superman Returns, I was like, nah, I hate this. No, then I get to Man of Steel and I was like, okay, you know what? I get it now. And then I started reading the comics. Do you want to say, Taladia?
I was going to say that, like, there's no doubt Snyder brought life to the Superman IP. Right? There's no doubt about that. But there's also got to take into consideration they were planning things for the Superman IP when Snyder was in charge. They were going to do a Superman video game. They were going to do even the Superman comics were skyrocketing because of Man of Steel. You got to think about it like that, Jared, right?
There's momentum, a lot of synergy, a lot of momentum.
A lot of synergy, a lot of momentum there. And you see what James Gunn is doing is that fact that he thinks, oh, well, I'm going to go the retro futuristic move. That's fine. You can do the retro futuristic move. That's no problem. The problem is you're putting a movie in between two big billion-dollar franchises that literally have been in the public eye for more than 30 years now.
And let's not forget, we're coming off a year where it's been flop after flop after flop for DC.
Exactly.
So the DC brand is not in a good place where I would test this. I mean, no.
Yeah, Atchison has a bit of a hot take around the 10:31 mark, 10:31 p.m.
Let me see. James Gunn is a one-trick pony, hence why the majority of his films feature an ensemble cast. We'll see. If Superman doesn't work, then I can say we can call him that. But really, because I've seen movies. Actually, have I seen other movies by him? I mean,
Dawn of the Dead.
Point. That's a good point.
The Scooby-Doo movie.
Well, remember, Dawn of the Dead was heavily rewritten after he left the movie. So I don't know how much of that is gone or how much of it was the heavy rewrites.
What else was there?
But also, here's another movie that really helps Superman. You ready? Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I'm assuming that that's what David says when he means Justice League. There you go. But yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say the difference between Zack Snyder and James Gunn, at least Zack Snyder went back to the comics, which actually made sense, and that is
I didn't
modern.
expect him to make a like entire new 52 thing, but you know what he did? He compromised. We got like a post-crisisy looking suit, but we didn't get the trunks. We got like a post-crisisy Superman, like age-wise and all that stuff, but we got a very new 52 story. Snyder somehow managed to merge the new 52 and post-crisis better than DC Rebirth did. Yes, I just said that.
I've always wanted to. If I get the chance to ask Zack Snyder a question,
you will.
If I do, I would be like, what's your idea for Man of Steel? Was it merging post-crisis and New 52 together when you're looking at suit's design, or was it or because you just felt like Trunks was not a modern day thing?
Well, from what Zach has commented on, he went through. He tried to keep the trunks. He went through all these different variations of the suit with the trunks, but he couldn't figure out how to make it work. And the guns. One of the many issues with the gun suit is that it looks like a diaper.
And
did the DC AMUs help that? Nope. No, they did not. No.
I'd argue it was a detriment.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. They definitely heard it. Wait, can we say that they should have just kept Snyder's original plan, which if they did, it would be bigger than Mark. Yeah, and guess what? It would have ended in 2019. It would have been done. And Snyder was going to do a Flashpoint movie, so you could reboot, and then Gunn comes in and redoes this. It's not like he was going to go for like 10, 20 years with DC characters.
You also got to look at it from a business standpoint. It's a travesty what happened to him behind the scenes with his family, but even amidst after Justice League and then the Snyder Cut and then the pandemic, this is roughly the culmination of not only bad business decisions, but roughly 5 to 7 years of clashing egos all across the board.
And well, the other thing is like one of the reasons why they had issues with Henry Cavill is because he wanted a lot of money. He's playing Superman, the face of your franchise. Yeah, pay him what he wants.
And he's your first DC character film that you've literally started off with.
Not only that, Claudia, he's playing Superman, their most iconic superhero. Yes, give him the money he wants. Is anyone worried that James Gunn is going to turn Superman about? Yes, I am 100%, Isaac. 110%. That is my problem. Go ahead.
The difference between me as yes, I'm a Snyder fan, but me as a Superman fan, I'm prepared to give James Gunn a chance to blow my socks off. Maybe not the first trailer, but maybe the second trailer, right? Because I know the first trailer you're not going to get much out of it. But if the second trailer blows my socks off, then yeah.
I'll watch the movie, but if he makes Superman into a joke, I'm gonna tell you right there. I am going to be very vocal about that. I'm gonna say James Gunn should never touch Superman again because you can't turn Superman into a joke. Because guess what?
Machine.
That's what the later Reeves movies and that's what Superman Returns did. And then we had Superman being a joke in terms of the general freaking audience.
And David, to reply that, he won't be doing anything Batman related because
you don't know that. You don't know that. We still don't know who's Brave the Bold, but he could still do rewrites and everything to align the character, or he'll find some way to screw it up.
I mean, we don't know that, but the one thing we do know though is the fact that James Gunn literally needs to pull a rabbit out of the hat.
He does, because if he doesn't, his universe is dead. That's the thing. A lot is riding on the Superman movie. Although I will say, the benefit of this movie flopping is that Tom King doesn't work in the DC movies anymore. That's a good thing.
Pretty much like he who must not be named, who worked on
DC
films.
Pretty much like that, exactly. Atchison says. There's a behind the scenes clip you can look up where they discuss the making of the Superman suit. Yeah, they said they wanted to make it look more Kryptonian culture, make it look like chainmail, like he's a knight. And I'm like, yes, You put thought into this. James Gunn, it's like, take the Guardian suit and put a cape on it. That's what it is.
No, he thought, oh, I can mash New 52 and Rebirth.
Well,
into
there's
one.
a way to do that. Take the Cavill suit and put a collar on it. There you go. You're done. You don't even need the lines. Just do that. I would have taken that. That's it. Just the Cavill suit, collar, we're done. You don't even have to put in like the red belt or the lines or the armor plates. Don't do that, even though it's not armor.
I saw something on Twitter, right, where an artist literally did a New 52 design, right? And that looks even more better than what James Gunn did.
Yeah, because at least the Cavill suit fit him. I have always said I can't trust a man who masked up a vigilante. Yeah, for those that don't know, vigilante, this is the one character that Arrow got right. Arrow understood vigilante way more than James Gunn because he's not a Deadpool character. He is no. He is a murdering psychopath. Why is Gunn Superman's shield so small and large a gun? It looks weird. Yeah, that's also weird.
On his cape? Then, yeah, on his cape, I think.
On his chest.
No, I mean, his chest is.
Well, here's the other thing. And I'm glad when we had William on, he brought this up. I'm going to get a book for my show.
While he does that, I'll say this. I don't mind the cape having the S emblem on the back. That's cool.
Right. So here's the problem with that logo, in addition to it being too small. I get why he's using that particular iteration of the Superman S for nostalgia reasons, but that S is only known for one story. This one right here, Kingdom Come, is the very specific context behind that logo. And if you're going to market this universe as more true to the comics, you gotta be true to the. If you're going to do a Kingdom Come movie, hey, do this. Make this the finale of the Snyderverse if you're going to finale it. But no, you're like, no, I'm just going to take this. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this. But get and all the shields just eat it up because they're like, oh, that's so cool. It's the Kingdom Come logo. They're not thinking, okay, why is that Kingdom Come logo is known for only one thing, despite what Grant Morrison wants to believe with his Superman the Authority book. Ugh. But go on, Taladia.
I was gonna say the thing what James Gunn should have done is should have looked at the New 52, should have looked at some of the stuff that made bank and said, look, we work with these comics and bring them together. For example, Superman.
There's a good S right there.
Exactly.
The New 52 Superman right there.
What I'm trying to get at is the fact that so for example, right, you could bring Superman Secret Origin. You could do that as a storyline to be your base of Superman, right? You don't have to do the origins of Superman, but you could be like in his first years or whatnot. You could take elements from that, take elements from the New 52, mash them together, and it makes sense. Volume 2, right? Am I right? Am I wrong, Jared? Like you could do volume.
You could
2.
easily mash up Brandon's. You know it's bad when the CW has a better suit because that if he had done that, I would have been like, okay, that's cool. I mean, obviously with a different S and stuff, but if that were the suit, I would be fine because that actually fit Brandon Routh. This does not fit Corn Sweat, and this comes after they marketed. Oh, he's working out. Could we say that Zack Snyder doing a Kingdom Come movie would have been awesome?
He could pull it off.
If there's one director I would trust doing the visuals for Kingdom Come,
it'd be Zack
that
Snyder.
guy right there. By the way, so Brown says, Jared, show us Superman's S shield from World Saga and how big it is. I'm glad you said so, Brown. I will do that right now, my good friend, because that's a massive S right there. He's got big S energy.
I'm honestly surprised you don't have that story in trade yet.
I do.
He does.
I do. Okay, hang on.
You might as well show him, Jared, because at this point he doesn't realize you're the comics lord.
I did a video on World Saga this Wednesday. See, this is how big the trade is. It's an omnibus length. But anyway, so here's the S. This is the World Saga S. I'm gonna find a good image of Superman in the suit. Wait, hang on a second. Even in his basic suit, Look at how big this S is. Hang on. Even in his basic suit, look at the S is actually covering his chest. Even if we have to suffer through Lame's face. But anyway. Now let me show you the actual Warworld suit S. Let me get there. Hang on. Ew, DC Rebirth. Yeah. I really hate DC Rebirth. As you guys are well known. Let's see. Where is it? All right. And I'm trying to find a good look at the Warworld Superman suit. Let me see. And by the way, TJ says, why didn't Gunn just use the suit from Superman Earth 1? That would have worked too. But again, he's only going off of stuff that he likes. That's it. Not what actually works for the general audience. He's thinking too. Here's the problem. He's thinking too much like a comic book fan and not enough like what's going to get the general audience's butts in seats. And honestly,
you need a balance.
See, here's the thing. I showed my parents the suit. And I show my parents because they're not acquainted with comics with me. They're essentially my gauge of the general audience. They said, oh, they gave him a diaper. Even Rebirth Superman. Yeah, even the Rebirth suit was better than James Gunn's suit. Taladia, how often do I compliment anything Rebirth?
Hardly ever.
Yes, thank you. Because here's this. At least, even though the rest of the suit is crappy, because I don't like the small like red belt and then like the small fit things in the boots. The S shield is there. It's literally there. Okay, it's literally there.
Why do we have to show the little kid? I don't want to see him.
No,
thank you.
The point is, I needed a Rebirth cover to show that because Brown effectively told us that.
No, but I think what James Gunn should have done, he should have said, okay, look at the comics that sold bank. Look at the comics that did well. Hell, I even say this, right? Even Superman the Animated Series had a big S.
By the way, Taladia, speaking of comics that sold well, do you know? So it's kind of funny. So you know he's doing a book that he's doing the Superman, the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow book, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a movie. Do you know where that book was before it was announced as a movie? In the dollar bin.
Yeah, yep. I know. It didn't do well.
No, it didn't. It was not. And then as soon as James Gunn announced it for a movie, then it's getting all the stuff with the hardcovers and stuff. So I'm like, it's not that good. What do I want to?
Yeah,
Earth 1.
Yeah, TJ.
TJ brought up Earth 1, so I just want to show up that. So let me do that. Superman Earth 1. I'm going to show that suit as well. So it's not like Gunn didn't have that many options. There was a lot of options he could choose from.
But he went with the Smallville version.
Yeah, exactly. So let me go to a scene where he actually has it. By the way, Superman Earth 1 literally is almost shot for shot Man of Steel. Yeah, right there.
If it loads, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. Look at the big ass.
Pretty standard, sleek, straight to the point.
But the point is, it fits his whole chest. It doesn't look... Because here's the problem. He's literally replicating the mistakes of Superman Returns. Because look at the Superman Returns suit. Okay.
While we're waiting on that, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is just a superhero ripoff of True Grit. Let's call it for what it is.
Okay, look at how small the S is on the Return suit.
You can barely tell it's there.
Yeah, look, right there. It is that small on... Here's a good example of where it is. That is the one for him. Look at that.
The people made fan edits of it and made it even bigger, though.
Yeah. This is good. Actually, that's actually not bad.
I mean, that's an easy fix. I mean, all in all, there's nothing wrong with the...
There's another one above that. Or next to it.
Brown wants to see the John Kent S. I'm gonna do that because he requested that Superman.
Please don't bring up his name.
I have to because Brown requested it. We're doing an experiment to look at the different shield sizes.
I hate John Kent.
Me too, but whatever. So does Brit, trust me.
I'm more so indifferent towards the character. Like, I get what they were trying to do with trying to give someone for Damian Wayne to pal around with, and cheap plug for my retrospective video coming out. But other than that, he's just a copy paste of Clark, and he doesn't bring anything to the table.
There you go. Here's the John Kent as Shield. They actually made all red and part of the shoulders, so at least that they have something. By the way, isn't it kind of funny how Gunn copied this hairdo for his Clark Kent, the broccoli haircut that's going around everywhere? And I'm like, that is the dumbest haircut ever, but still. Is it just me, or did WB and DC lose confidence in making superhero a household name after the show ended? Probably. I think so. Well, because her brand has never really been as strong as Superman's.
No.
Because her movie bombed, and then the show was good, but up to a certain point, but it went down real fast. Like, it can't be me, right? It's not you, Cameron. It's not you. True comic book fans hate John Kent unless the Super Wonders John. Yeah, exactly. Because at least it says a lot when Frank Miller did it better than the DC.
Not only Frank Miller, Alex Ross, and that did it better.
John Kent.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Yeah, but that's the point. He did it way better. It says a lot. JJheat, it says a lot when Frank Miller, the goddamn Frank Miller, does it better. I had to.
Even I have to give credit where it's due. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm more so indifferent towards John Kent more than anything, but his concept has been done better by more established writers. Because all John feels to me is just an extension of for Death and Reign of Superman. What was that writer's name?
He Who Must Not Be Named.
No, not him. The other one, the one who actually helped write Death of Superman. Jurgen. Thank you. It's basically
he's forgettable. Don't worry about it, dude.
Jurgen is an Death and Return to Superman was the peak of Jurgen's writing credit as a comic book writer.
That's objectively true. There you go.
And I just feel like John Kent is just an extension of that, at least in terms of how the character even remotely got built up and pushed as much as he did.
Well, the reason why he was created in the first place, according to Brit, and I trust Brit, is that it was because they had the same attitude Tom King had with Trinity. Well, Batman has a kid, then Superman should have a kid. And they were trying to solidify Clark with Lois, and we all know when you try and force Clark with Lois, that turns out swimmingly, doesn't it? Just ask My Adventures with Superman. I just like to say, before Damian had friends his own age, Colin Wills rings a bell, or Billy Batson. Yeah, I know. What the F is Hyperman? Like hypertension. Hyperman was Superman and Wonder Woman's kid from the Kingdom Come universe, TJ. And he's actually pretty cool. He travels around the timeline. That's actually really cool.
But bringing it back to James Gunn's Superman, because
we are way off topic.
Yeah. That's all good. We're talking about Superman, so it's tangentially connected.
I think what James Gunn needs to do is start listening to asking the general audience, should I move the movie back?
No, don't pay attention to Twitter. Do not do anything on Twitter at this point.
Not Twitter, but do it on Threads.
Nope, do not do it on there either.
Wait,
honestly, just do what makes business sense, which is not this.
Yeah, a smart decision. Now, I would say winter or Christmas release would be a bit of a stretch, but definitely move the date or push it back. That's how I would do it, rather than trying to squeeze in a last minute early 2025 release in the spring. I feel like fall would market a lot better.
I disagree with you there. I think spring is the best time for Superman, because not only you're going to be marketing Superman around his anniversary, they could, push up those numbers for the books, especially considering you got not only the Absolute Universe Superman, but you also got the other Superman as well, the mainline Superman, so where they can push up those numbers with the movie, and you can get people to basically read those comics. Because give James Gunn where credit, I'll give James Gunn credit where credit's due, where he's actually pushing books. Whereas before they never were pushing books.
I'll give it that, because DC
That's
Studios at the
fair.
end of the trailer actually says, buy these books. The problem is they don't give you any way to find a local comic book store, because they just say wherever books are sold, but you should be pushing the comic book stores, which I hope they will do with their all-in initiative, which probably won't last that long, but still, I'm just like, at least do this for me, please, DC. Push the local comic book stores, because they get no help from you.
If you're going for as much momentum as commercially possible, then yes, definitely push it forward for a spring release. If you're going for the most commercial bank and momentum possible, but you also got to take into account, even with all the momentum, you still have to get people in seats. You still have to build momentum. You still have to build word of mouth. At the end of if the movie is relatively lackluster, especially in comparison to Marvel's momentum and Marvel's comeback, then Superman Legacy is going to fall off the ether. That's why I said maybe you won't be able to market it for the anniversary, but if you push it more so towards the fall, that means you won't have. That means that would mean Fantastic Four and Jurassic World will be at the tail end of their theatrical box office window. So even if there is still some momentum, it won't impact Superman Legacy as much, if that makes sense. That's the reason I came to my conclusion. But if you're going for pure synergy and try to build momentum off that, then yes, I will agree with Taladia and concede that spring would be the most marketable or consensus move to push it back to spring. But you need this movie to be a success at all costs. If you just want this movie to be a success and get the DCU off the ground, it might be better to push it back towards fall, at least in my opinion.
By the way, guys, I since someone mentioned the Kara's S shield in the Flash, I want to bring this up. So this is not Kara, but this is what the comic, what the suit is inspired by. This is Lara Lane Kent. This is so essentially in Injustice, Superman gets like knocked into a coma and he dreams about how Injustice would have happened if Bruce had actually killed the Joker. So then we have so obviously Superman's kid would have been born. And then you get this. Even the S shield here is big. By Brown says $450 million maximum. Really? I think it's gonna make. I definitely think. I mean, from what I can see, I'm predicting it's gonna make less than Man of Steel. If it makes
that's a fair assessment.
If it makes less than Man of Steel, I'm sorry, that is an abysmal failure, because that shows that people prefer the old version over your new version. So I'm like, yeah, this is not going to work that well, guys.
David says over 500 million is his.
Which would be around my area if it's less than Man of Steel. So I'll give you that. One of the reasons Superman is hard to sell is because a large part of his fan base and writers want to keep him stuck in the past. Yeah, and they're
the nostalgia. I had to cut you off, Jared.
Yeah,
the nostalgia factor, the nostalgia gap is atrocious, with each generation getting more aggressive than the last. I mean, look at the controversy. I mean, look at comparing Man of Steel to like Post Crisis, or even you had the perfect template with the DCAU. DCAU is based off Post-Crisis for the most part. What are you talking about?
And if you want us to go off of the DCAU, does that mean that Batman's going to sleep with Barbara? Is that what you want? Is that what you want to be the model?
Why you had to go there, man? Why?
No, because whenever anyone brings this up, I'm like, oh, you really want that? You want the one that made Wonder Woman 18 and her being hit on by a 48-year-old man?
Jared, please.
I had to. No, I had to, because whenever anyone brings up about how like the DCAU is the perfect DC animated universe and should be used as the model, I'm like, no, it shouldn't. That's my point there.
Anyway, I think we should change.
Please.
Yeah. So let's go to our Q&A. So you guys can ask us any questions you guys would like about any of the topics we talked about tonight, or just any topic you guys want to talk about.
I know that what's his name? I think he asked us a question before. Isaac, did you hear that the rumor of where there was a Matt Reeves
Okay.
Batman game? We
Yeah,
could talk about that because
Okay.
I think here's what I believe. Right, I think James Gunn doesn't know anything about the gaming industry. He says he knows everything, right? I've been told that there might be a Batman game, but
Maybe a Batman game. They didn't say in the Reeves universe.
but not in the Reeves universe, right? But I think this article was was I think it needed to be edited because I think they made a mess up in the edit in the article because I looked at the article because I didn't pay for it, by the way. It was behind a paywall. So I got that free article. So I just said I checked it out. It said movies, TV show, and game. And I'm like thinking, okay, that doesn't make sense. Why would they tackle the Reeves universe in a video game format? So I know James Gunn why James Gunn debunked it. It was basically because James Gunn thought, okay, this didn't this doesn't, look,
It's not a good look.
it's not a good look, right? But the one thing I will give credit to WB which is they're licensing out IPs. Now with Arkham Shadow gameplay, which they've actually shown, it looks really good, really really good for an Arkham game. So I can tell you guys that as facts. We got a few questions here.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Okay. I actually think that the Fantastic Four movie is going to look wonky. I don't know how they are going to get the CGI to look good in such a short time. See, here's the thing, though. Like with Ben Grimm, they're using a lot of practical stuff, at least as reference for when they actually do the visual effects. So it could actually turn out to be really good in terms of from a visual perspective. And we know for a fact from the trailer that leaked out that Galactus ain't a cloud.
At least it's not a cloud in this. That's the good news.
So that is a big that is
Improvement.
100% a big boost.
TJ says, I don't have a question, just a comic recommendation, The Divine, The Wicked Enjoy.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do that. What have we got?
Brian says, have you seen Apple's sci-fi series Invasion?
Yes, I have. That's actually really good. That is really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically a series about Invasion. Well, let me see. What was that one again?
Apple Plus.
Yeah. I'm trying. I think that's the series that I watched. I believe so. Hang on. I gotta see who's the actor. Yeah, I saw that. I did. So it's basically about like these weird aliens show up on Earth and like slowly invade. It's a slow burn, but it actually like works really well as a show. So there you go. I'll give you guys that. What else you guys got?
Well, I know for a fact that I gotta ask JJheat this question.
Go ahead.
Right. What do you think of the Arkham Shadow gameplay, which was shown at Gamescom? Like they showed like a full like footage or whatever. Have you seen it? If you
I
have,
have, and I am intrigued by it. I'm just not a fan of VR games personally. I tried it with the last VR Arkhamverse game they did, kind of as kind of an interlude between Arkham City and Arkham Knight. I wasn't a big fan of it, and not to mention $500 for a VR headset. Like, come on.
Nah, it's not worth the $500. It's like nah. Atkinson says there's a video by two guys and a stack of comics titled "Is Lois Lane Holding Back Superman?" I recommend you watch it.
Sweet. DM it to me and I'll definitely check that out. And the answer is yes. If you were given the keys to the DC Kingdom, and that includes the Dakotaverse, aka Milestone Universe, and all the Elseworlds, what would be your first 10 films? Okay, my first 2 films would be Zack Complete Justice League. Okay, so beyond that, I would say I would start. Okay, are we starting from scratch, or do we want to go? These heroes are established.
I would say start from scratch.
Yeah, start from scratch.
Although,
But please confirm,
I'm going to say this. I'm not going to show the origins for like Superman or Batman because we know these origins at one point.
And Wonder Woman.
No, do Wonder Woman because because not enough people know her origin. I would say reiterate that. In terms of like, so I would do Superman. It would be Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. I would do a World's Finest movie, a Trinity movie, and then Justice League. So you're slowly working your way up. You're going a 2-person team up, a 3-person team up, and then the Justice League team up.
That makes sense.
Start slow. Plus, we can have an actual World's Finest movie that we can get because we've never had a DC Trinity movie.
No.
Technically BVS, but that doesn't count.
That doesn't count, Jared. That does not count.
Because Wonder Woman is not like in there. It's not like she's essential to it, but it's not like if you take her out, the movie falls apart. But anyway.
And I would do an Elseworld film where it'd be The Dark Knight Returns, part 1 and part 2, right? And you bring Ben Affleck to do that role.
Yep, that's fair.
I'd be fine with that. That works. How about you, JJheat?
As for me, I'd try, if it were up to me, I'd actually try to make peace with the McDuffie estate and actually reintegrate Milestone or the Dakotaverse. That way you can actually expand the world building. So definitely like a Static Shock movie, a Icon and Rocket, and help establish the world building a little more. Right? I wouldn't try to make Dakotaverse Elseworld. I just wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you don't have to. You could, but it'd be cool to see the Dakota characters interact with the DC characters. Dave says, Have you checked out any of the X-Men from the Ashes book? Started reading the Jed McKay book. It's actually a 3 out of 5 for me so far. I read Phoenix and NYX, both of which didn't exactly impress me. I may check out X-Men. Jared, did you see that Lois got a new suit and absolute power?
And superpowers.
Okay, so Taladia, they gave Lois Iron Man armor. Basically Iron Man armor.
Wait, what? I thought she had actual powers.
No, that comes later.
Solicitations, man.
I have the issue. Hang on.
Why are you laughing like that, JJheat? Like it's like
sorry.
Like you're an evil mastermind.
Oh no.
If he likes seeing me tortured, that's why.
Never. Come on, you know me better than that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the suit, Taladia.
Let's see. Kanye West and
yeah, I know, it's so stupid. Stop making Lois Lane a thing. It's not working. Are you guys excited for any upcoming DC Finance collection? A lot of Golden Age and Silver Age stories again reprinted. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely be checking out anything from Superman and Wonder Woman because I want to add those to my collection.
And Cameron Bailey asked, so me and my friend were going back and forth in the entire Teen Titans roster in Generation DC. Oh, I forgot about Generation DC. Would put their stacks into the 2003 version. My friend said they would do the original due to Young Justice. Young Justice is just just Teen Titans of the 90s. Like let's be real.
It's basically that because so they called it Young Justice, but wasn't it really just Teen Titans?
It's a revamp of Teen Titans. So much so that after that Peter David's run ended, all the founding characters were consolidating to Jeff Johns' 03 run.
Exactly. Brown Destroyer. Have you seen the Reddit storyline for Superman movie league? I haven't, and I'm not really like. I don't take stock in story leaks yet. Not yet.
I always treat Reddit with a grain of
DM
salt.
it to me. DM it to me. I'm intrigued.
All right. Are you guys going to buy I want to buy that VR game, but I can't. It's too.
I can't.
Ultimately, it's too expensive even for me. I'm not gonna spend because I have to get $500 for a quest, and then I have to buy the game. I'm like, no, that's gonna add up real fast.
Yeah,
this is a guy with multiple figurines, an Aquaman trident, and who's watched the Snyder Cut almost 20 times.
What does watching the Snyder Cut almost 20 times have to do with spending $500 on a VR headset?
You've kept and maintained HBO Max to the point that you watched the Snyder Cut 20 times.
I didn't know I didn't watch it on DVD or on my digital copy.
Touche.
To say.
There you go. I got you, dude. And that's what I'm saying, JJheat. 2003 is the definitive version. Casuals would know best. Let's be honest. Yeah, that's kind of true. I gotta be honest with that because that TV show was too iconic. Really.
But I think, guys, I think when it comes down to because I know Brian was saying that if I was going to buy that VR game, there would be no way in cat in hell chance I'd buy it. If it was on MetaQuest 2 or MetaQuest 1, that'd be a different story. But because it's a VR 3, MetaQuest 3, that's a different ballgame. Atkinson's asking, do you guys collect figures or statues? If so, which brands? Jared's got lots.
You gotta be a little more specific, Atchison. I got Hot Toys. I got Diamond Select. I got a bunch of maquettes. So he collects Mafex. I have a Mafex. Hang on.
Not as much as I used to, Atchison. I used to do it back in the day, but not so much now.
I have a Mafex Wonder Woman from the Wonder Woman movie, and I mostly get like a bunch of McFarlane figures on here. And then I have, let's see what else. I also got these dope like DC, like back when DC collectibles were a thing, they made action figures for each of the Justice League. So I got the new 52 variants, and of course I have them in an embrace.
I wish they made the cape cloth, not rubbery.
Yeah, because it probably costs more. Oh, I got a special one. So check this out. This is a relatively newer addition to my collection. I feel like General Grievous. This is the actual Kingdom Come Golden Armor Wonder Woman action figure made for Kingdom Come.
Nice.
They made a bunch of action figures for it.
Apparently, Mafex is currently re-releasing Zack Snyder's Justice League figures.
Of course they are, because it actually sells crap. If the Snyderverse were such a failure, why do they keep producing merch for it?
And did you guys like the casting of Supergirl?
I haven't seen her in anything really. I don't watch House of the Dragon or anything like that.
Nah, neither
From
do
what
I.
I've seen, I'm not going to spoil anything from House of Dragon itself because I've actually read the book, so it's all indifferent to me. But I don't think she could pull off Raven. Hot take, I know, but I don't think, because Raven is a very monotone yet nuanced character. Looks wise, she could pull it off, but she would have to need a very good script in order to convey Raven.
Here's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
So the people who played Titans for like Raven, Beast Boy, bring those two characters over to the DCU.
I agree. Say what you will about Titans, the show being bad, but it had a decent cast and decent character dynamics. The story itself was hot garbage, but decent cast all around.
I love that. That's so good. Was it revealed who the villain is going to be for Superman? Because personally, I want Toyman to make a comeback. I think it's either Solaris or like I think the main villain that
is Lex.
Gun confirmed is Lex. So
main villain is Lex, but they've got Ultraman in it, and they've got Solaris as well. They teased it.
Okay, where is it? Here we go.
Why did you say that name?
What do you mean?
Because it's not Ultraman. It's Bizarro, but he's calling it Ultraman because he's not going in it. If DC were to cast Sydney Sweeney as Power, I know the reasons why they want Sydney Sweeney to play Power Girl.
No, I think she'd be better as. I know who she's better as.
I have art of New Justice League by Jim Lee, signed by Jim Lee.
Nice.
I have a Batman poster signed by Jim Lee right there.
Yeah, are you guys trying to compete with each other right now?
Yes, we are. We're doing that one-up thing. There you go. But anyway, so what do you want to say, Taladia?
I think Sydney Sweeney would be very good if she was cast in a DC film. I don't think Power Girl should be her role.
Oh, no.
If she was to dye her hair black, I would love to see her as Cassandra Cain. Or even what's that? Spoiler, yeah.
Spoiler alert. I think that could work.
Jared, that was an obvious pun even for you.
Hey, at least it's not as bad as it's not an old man pun, but anyway. But I think Sydney Sweeney in the DCU would actually work.
Mhm.
Not, I mean, she was in an MCU film or MC. What am I saying? MCU. I mean to say Marvel film, but I don't think she'll touch Marvel again. I don't think she'll go back to Marvel. I think
Oh
she'll look at
no.
No. Yeah, minus the boobs. She does look like Power Girl. She could pull it off, I think, but
why
yeah.
bring up the cleavage? I don't get that.
Like seriously, stop trying to make Power Girl work. Like, come on, we
Okay,
know what you're doing.
Taladia. I'm like, do you realize there was a very specific part that Power Girl's known for, right?
I know that.
That's
specific
why
reason.
I had to read the comment. But yeah, there's no way she touches Marvel with a 10-foot pole after what happened.
Too
Especially
easy.
Power Girl drawn by Ed Benes. Ed Benes draws everyone cheesecakey, which I'm not complaining because I happen to very much love his art.
I mean, you know who Sydney Sweeney could pull off? Catwoman.
Catwoman. It's just
Here's the thing on that. It really depends on who they cast as Batman.
yeah, chemistry is key. Chemistry
Now,
is
if
key.
they cast Glenn Powell as Batman, which first off I could see, and second off, they cast Glenn Powell as Batman, then I could see that because they do have chemistry.
They have got chemistry. If you watch the movie Anyone But You, it's a very funny film. You might like that.
That's what I heard. So you know what? If that happens, you know what? That could work. That could definitely work. I'll give you guys that. So what other questions do you guys have? And by the way, I just want to show this off. I went to my local comic book store and got some books. I got this, which is the classic collection of the original Flash Gordon comics from 1934 to 1937. These predate Superman.
Nice.
That's how old these are. And then I got some other stuff in here. I picked up Avengers Twilight because I got a couple of the single issues and I really enjoyed it. I got Booster Gold, the complete 2007 series. Yes, I got a Dan Jurgens series, but it's also co-written by Jeff Johns, so I figured I was going to be good.
That's a good series.
It's good? Okay, cool.
It's a bit of a slow burn, but it's a good series.
I got Extreme Carnage, and I was sold the minute they put Philip Kennedy Johnson on the book, so I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'll pick it up. By the way, so Cameron says, so way back in the early 2000s, I see DC was playing a Sirens movie. Do you think it would have worked and sold?
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Not back
No.
then. Not back then.
2000s. We're in Catwoman territory, brother. No way.
Oh.
No. There's a reason why we only got Batman movies, my brother. There's a reason why. Sienna Miller could play Power Girl.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She could pull it off.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the girl from G.I. Joe? Yes, she could. Yes, she definitely could.
Atkinson says, since Gunn said one of his favorite New 52 books was Wonder Woman, do you think he would use the Zeus origin?
That's what Britt and I were saying once, because he kept bringing that up. And the thing is like, I wonder if he will. Now, the only thing that I would say maybe wouldn't make him do that is the fact that was the Snyderverse origin. However, that is the simplest origin to explain to people. Because it's harder for the general audience to grasp she was molded by clay and the gods brought life into her, as opposed to Zeus just slept around, because every Greek story has that.
Now, I have a question for you guys.
Right? Yeah.
When do you think we'll see the Wonder Woman game?
Probably around in time for the premiere of Paradise Lost.
Well, probably it will be. It will probably come out or be revealed, or we'll get a trailer by the time the asteroid finally hits Earth.
I think
movie's not. I'm trying to find out when is that movie game coming.
I have a feeling it's going to be at the end of this year, because they've got nothing big except for the Hogwarts Legacy Director's Cut coming out next year, right? So
I mean, they did. Was it confirmed or just like rumored that it's coming out end of next year?
It's rumored to come out 2025, right? That's a rumor, right? Currently, the thing is, it makes logical sense because of the fact that you're starting off the DC brand, gaming wise, you're starting off on a strong point, right? So they want to get
Right.
Arkham Shadow. You got Arkham Shadow. Get that out of the way. October, then November. You got December comes around. You've got to have a DC game there. So at the game mode, you could have 2 DC games. I think you could have the Wonder Woman game and you could have a Superman game announcement. That's what I think personally, right?
Mhm.
And to add further to this, I think what makes more sense with that is it's because I feel that if you're David Zaslav, you want to make the most of every buck you can in the DC Games brand, right?
I agree.
And I don't think Arkham Shadow will last long. I think it'll probably be like a 1 month or 2 months thing, and then that's it, right? It's not going to last longer than that, right? So that's what I think. Brand Destroyer says, "Do you guys read funny comics? I have entire fun French comics from Tintin by George Remini. I don't read Tintin comics. I have seen Tintin, a
I
cartoon.
read.
I've heard about them because
Does
I'm actually trying to
Invincible
expand.
count as does Invincible count as funny comics?
No, they count as
No,
Image. They
Image.
were branded under Image.
No, I mean, I think what Brown is asking if we read any like humorous comics.
No, I don't.
No. I mean,
Um,
I'll read just about anything once. So
Yeah,
for better,
pretty
for
much.
worse.
I mean, I do have this. Hang on. This is not this is an independent published book. So the interesting thing about this is called Terminal Lands, and it's a book written by a U.S. Marine, and it's a bunch of like military humor. And the thing about it is that one of the things I'm the other nerd about is like military stuff, as you guys have probably noticed. So I get a lot of the jokes in here, and it's like it's really fun. I read through this whole thing about I'd say about twice, and I still laugh at it. So it's really fun. Hot take: the Zeus origin is cooler. Okay, quick poll. All right, JHeat, which origin do you prefer, Clay or Zeus?
I'm relatively indifferent to either one. If you're going for what's consistent in the overall theme of Diana, the Amazons, and what they're supposed to represent, you can make an argument for the clay origin for mythology and symbolism. Or what if you're going for a more casual or general aspect? Definitely go with Daughter of Zeus, but that's a slippery slope because you could easily make her woman Kratos. Very slippery slope.
Have you seen Absolute Wonder Woman? She's basically Lady Kratos.
Like I'm sorry.
I would say the Zeus origin for me.
Okay. With me, Britain, my position on it is it depends on what the story is. Because I've read great stories about the Clay origin. The Perez run is the god tier. If there is one run that I would recommend anyone read if you want to get into Wonder Woman, even if it's post-crisis, George Perez. Taladia, he's a very friendly to Super Wonder. They have an entire thing where Diana has dreams about Superman and someone tries to set her up on a date with him.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's in the Perez run.
Oh, wait. That actually did happen. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's really good. You should check that out. Let's see. I think the Stargirl actress from Small Girl could play Power Girl. Yeah, I think that.
Yeah.
So long as they don't have her be born in World War II, I'm good. Yes. Can we stop with with her being ancient? It worked for the Snyderverse, even though the problem with the Snyderverse Wonder Woman, and this is not me bashing Zack because he didn't have the time to do that. We didn't get to see Wonder Woman interact with like Superman, and we should have gotten that. But other than Wonder Woman and Green Lantern, what other DC characters do you like to get an animated series? That is a great question. Okay, let's see. You guys, I got it. Aquaman. I mean, he sort of got one, but away from the Super Friends influence.
Yeah. Flash, maybe. Constantine, the animated series. That would be pretty cool.
I got it. I got it. Birds of Prey.
Didn't we get a live action Birds of Prey in the 2000s?
Yeah, but they can make it a little better.
Fair enough.
How about you, Taladia?
trying to think. Other than Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, I think an animated series. I would love to see, Flash. Definitely Flash.
Yeah, that could work. That could be fun.
An animated series. I would also like to see Zatanna.
Ooh, New Gods. Oh, a mini series about the origin of Darkseid and the New Gods. That could actually be really cool.
Weren't
would
we
like to
supposed to? Weren't we
Go
supposed to
on.
get that in that before the project was shelved?
It was a movie.
Huh, thank you for confirming that.
It was a
Jared.
movie. We may have dodged a bullet with that because it was going to be co-written by Ava DuVernay and Tom King.
Yeah, we dodged a bullet. No
yeah,
doubt.
I'm like, okay, I'm good. As soon as I saw those two people were connected, I'm like, I'm out. Yes, Flash is kind of overdue for an anime show, and you think the nature of his powers kind of works for that. A question: who would you want to write or direct the series? Not James Gunn. In terms of if I'm doing an Aquaman animated series, let me see.
Peter David.
I mean, direct a couple of the episodes, maybe Sam Liu. I liked his other stuff. But yeah, Peter David has to be involved in some way. Peter David or Jeff Johns can be involved in writing. That's it. We definitely dodged the bullet with that one. Thank you. Zack Snyder, also better than Gunn in one other area. His casting is perfect. I personally think that JJheat could play Cyborg. Ooh.
Booyah!
I'll buy that. I could buy that. Yep. It's kind of funny. I'll say what you want about Zack Snyder. He's the reason why we got Jason Momoa as Aquaman. There's no way anyone else would have cast Momoa as Aquaman.
He's basically Namor. I'm sorry. He's either Namor or Lobo.
In fact, what's kind of funny is that when they called him in and said, "Hey, Zach wants to play a DC character," he thought it was Lobo, and they say Aquaman, and they say Aquaman. He goes, "What? Have you seen me?" And I'm like, "Yes, please. You are my Aquaman, bro." He was actually the first DC statue I ever got, because this is the one piece of Justice League merch that I got at the time. This is the Aquaman statue. It's still Aquaman, and I still consider the ZSJL, so you know what? It works.
And okay, Justice League Action. I'm not gonna say I've actually seen this with my nephew and nieces. Justice League Action isn't bad, but it's definitely a downgrade compared to Justice League and JLU. It's definitely a downgrade.
It's not intended to be like a continuation or anything on that level. It's just a fun little micro series.
Yeah, and I have no problem with it. But if you really say you parent and child were watching Justice League together, or scrolling through Cartoon Network or whatever. And yeah, they're gonna make that comparison. Like,
yeah,
this
true.
is just so it's kind of unavoidable, at least in my opinion.
What?
I don't care. My point, I'm still right. You can play the clip all you want.
Well, it's Ladia, our good friend Justice League Action has Super Wonder in it, so suck it. So continuing.
Yes, she does.
Let's do a couple more questions and then we'll wrap up.
All right. We're waiting on y'all.
Yeah, or if you two nincompoops have any questions for moi.
Hey, no need to go listening to poops.
All right. If you guys have any questions, or if the audience has any questions, we'll start. If not, we'll start to wrap up.
I have one thing, Jared.
All right.
We did talk about Absolute or Superman. We talked about Absolute Wonder Woman, right? We are going to be talking about Absolute Batman in an Under Two Capes episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about Absolute Titans as a book?
Oh,
it depends on how they go with that, because that gotta go really good.
And who would be and who would you be your lineup for that?
Oh,
we can't do Don. Well, we could actually do Donna Troy because she's not technically an Amazon. Donna. I don't know if this Batman has Robin yet, so that's the issue there.
That's still on the table.
Still on the table. My new DC Trinity. Oh, if you were to choose to make a new DC Trinity, who would you choose? Batman, because he sells everything.
Yeah, Batman definitely. Yeah.
Green Lantern. And for a woman who also sells well,
Wonder Woman.
where do I go? Then I'm just replacing Superman.
Okay. If we couldn't use the main three, Nightwing, Green Lantern.
I would probably go with Nightwing, honestly.
Yeah, Nightwing, Green Lantern, and
I got it. It's Batman, Batman, and Batman.
You can't use the same.
According to DC sales, that's the way it should be reflected, right? Would Jason Momoa look good if he did the whole blonde hair thing? Not parts of it, just full hair blonde. I think it looks fine the way it is. I don't think it would have looked good if it was just straight blonde hair.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, not everyone can pull off blonde. Not everyone can pull it off.
So Brown, to answer your question,
yeah. So far it is.
I watched it.
So far,
no spoilers. But
no spoilers.
So far, yeah, I'm enjoying it. Except for like a couple of things in a few, and like so far only one episode that I really have problems with. Besides that, it's actually really fun. My Adventure with Superman worth watching. Okay. No. I have a perfect clip for this. By the way, 3 guesses on what tomorrow's Super Wonder Legacy is going to be on. Britt and I are going to live bash this series like Hulk bashing Loki into the floor of Avengers Tower.
Are you kidding me? After the 2 episodes which were good
of My Adventures with Superman,
one season alone cannot save a lackluster
2 episodes out of how many came out does not redeem that series, bro. It does not take away my general issues, like how they basically plagiarized a Dragon Ball Z character.
But they had no Trunks in season 2.
But they did criminalize Kryptonians. They demonized Kryptonians.
I'm not going to spoil, but let's just say there was a lot of retreading done for drama. Like, if you trimmed the fat in this season, you would only have 5 episodes.
And the villains look tacky, and it's all tech-based. Yeah, it's so stupid. Jared, did you see that Absolute Power just introduced? Yes, I did. No, okay, so what that is, that's not... So, explanation. Actually, I'll hate this up. Explanation. Hang on.
Show me.
Where is this? I have this book. Okay, here we go. I got the movie Anti-Monitor.
Sorry, Anti-Monitor.
Wait 1 second. So, it's actually a really great series. I think this was post-Death Metal, I want to say. DC released a book called The Crime Syndicate. That's what this is. That's what that is. They brought in the Crime Syndicate from Earth 3. They essentially gave them a mini-series that was basically their own world. Like on this Earth, do you know why Donna Troy is that Wonder Woman? Hey, Britt, what's up? And Britt's here. Wait, yeah, I was about to say, I kind of have to. Where is it?
Roll the intro.
Yeah, I know. I got it. Where is it? Oh, yeah. The intros are at the top. Give me 1 second.
He's back.
So, in this series, what happened is, if I remember correctly, I'm flipping to it. So, this is Donna Troy because Diana had shown up, had like left Themyscira and was weak and had love in her heart, so the Amazons killed her. And in this, Steve Trevor shows up, tries to hit on Donna, and Donna kills him. So these are very different versions. This is actually I actually like this one better because her identity is not sullied by Lois Lane, even though it's Donna Troy. I'm like, she still gets with Ultraman, but it still feels kind of weird. Clark getting with Donna. It's kind of odd, but I like that. That's actually really cool. They're using some. I didn't expect them to bring in this because you think about it, an evil Justice League as Waller's replacements. Okay, as Waller's police force. Now they did something that I'm like, okay, you know what? You got me. God damn it, you got me. That is cool.
Yeah, not gonna lie. Integrating the crime syndicate is what's gonna save this event for a lot of people. Like, because prior to it, it just felt like a Cadmus or Act of God ripoff.
That's kind of what it is. But when I saw it, I was like, when I flipped through the books today and I saw that, I was like, okay, that is cool. That is interesting because now you essentially, and it's kind of funny. Waller says, I may disagree with your methods, but I don't have to know how you do your job. Just do your job. That is scary. If you're telling the crime syndicate, I don't care how, just do it. And I'm like, oh, that could be pretty fun. I'm really excited for that. So I will be reading that series. And then maybe at the end, the boys and I will do an episode about it. But anyone else got any little? Yes, the anime tropes are very problematic. We will talk about that. How much do you give your rating to Smallville? Blows it out of the water.
Smallville's a bloody masterpiece.
Wait.
Why would you even make that comparison?
Compared to My Adventures with Superman, Smallville is Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah. And Smallville already is a fantastic series. I have some issues with it after season 4, but
it's not perfect.
But it's a fun series. It respects the characters, and I like that. My Adventures with Superman royally is one of the worst pieces of Superman media I have ever seen.
I'm not going to spoil, but this is all I'm going to say. You can tell this was a leftover project from the license, and someone in the animation department didn't want to shelve it. Like, you could tell.
Oh God, what is it with DC and having all these crappy projects from previous administrations? I thought we already got this with Gotham Knights. By the way, JHeat, you still have to react to that.
Yeah, that's for Halloween.
No, you still have to react.
We down for Halloween. I've announced that multiple times.
That's even spookier. That's kind of funny. We're gonna call it the horror of Gotham Knights.
The
horror Nights. That's how we title it.
Yeah, the horror that came to Gotham.
Ooh, that's a good one. We'll talk about that. But anyway, so there you go. And Superman should have ended up with Lon instead of Lois in Smallville. That is also true. And we may do a video about Smallville. That's actually a fun idea for a discussion.
Yeah,
and we may do that for a rewatch episode when Nick and I complete Superman the animated series. We'll think about that because that could actually be really fun. So, any other concluding questions, or can we? Do you guys want to start with the outros?
Let's do the outros.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. So I'll start with JHeat. Go ahead, JHeat.
All right, as for me, you can find me on JHeat Blaze or JHeat75 on Twitter or X. Also, I believe I didn't intend it to premiere right away, but hey, technical difficulties, what can you do? The New Direction Batman playthrough. So that's currently out on the channel right now. So be sure to check that out on my channel right now. And stay tuned for my Decamo retrospective and Mass Effect Saturday. So
hell yeah. Taladia, how about you?
Okay, so you guys can check me out on Twitter at TaladiaPlays_. That's on X. And if you want to check me out on YouTube, it's at Taladia Plays. What I got coming up on my channel is this Sunday, we'll be live reacting to Batman Caped Crusader episode 5. And yes, Jared, because this is the
I have to say, even with what's coming out, I'm actually excited now as opposed to when we were reacting to My Adventures with Superman. I was like, God damn it.
Okay. And then next week, obviously, is Snyder Fans Read Comics, as we're covering Forever Evil Part 2. And myself and Bianca and Jared will be doing that. And then obviously we'll be doing Under Two Capes. And plus the return of Into the Multiverse will be returning to my channel. So stay tuned for that.
Hell yeah. As for Comics League, so like I said, so tomorrow for movie night, we're covering Comics League, or Comics League. We're covering Sonic. Have you guys seen that awful Wonder Woman episode 1 pilot? That has to be a stream where we talk about that eventually. Are you talking about the one where she runs like Themyscira Industries and starring Adriana Palicki? We'll do that. We'll do that, Brown. But in terms of like Super Wonder Legacy, like I said, it's gonna be a live episode, and Britt and I are gonna talk about why My Adventures with Superman sucks. You have no idea how many requests we got for that. So I'm like, okay, we're doing it now. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to hint at a future episode that Britt and I are going to do. Christopher Reeves and Linda Carter. That's all I'm going to say to hint at that. That's
You are
all I'm
playing
gonna-
with fire, my friend.
That's all I'm going to hint at. And in terms of Comics League content next week, Under Two Caves, Talati and I are going to talk about Ultimate Batman, if that could work. JJheat, you're more than welcome to join us as usual.
All right. Just let me know.
Let's see. In terms of
gaming.
Yeah, well, yeah. In terms of gaming, I'm still thinking about what game I want to play now that Batman is completed, because I don't want to do another Batman game. Actually, you know what? I could just do a Lego Batman game.
I was about to suggest that.
That
Lego
could
Batman.
be fun. I could do Lego Batman 3 because that's New 52.
Hey,
That actually works. You know what? Lego Batman 2. Actually 3. Let's do it. We're doing Lego Batman 3. All right. So besides that, in terms of like my Wednesday analysis video, I'm thinking I may do something related to Green Lantern. I'll let you guys know. And yeah, that's about what we got planned. By the way, so September is going to be Sci-Fi September, where we each have selected a sci-fi movie. Not necessarily connected to comics, but they do have comics connected to them. Like, I'm going to do Aliens.
Yeah.
Taladia is going to do Predator 2.
Yeah.
Nick is going to do Jurassic Park. And JJheat, what's your Sci-Fi September pick?
Have we already done Spawn?
Yes, we have.
Okay. We've already done Transformers. We've done G.I. Joe.
Now, we could do the original Transformers movie, though.
That we can do. Yes, that's my pick. I'm claiming it now.
The Michael Bay one?
No. The
very
80s
first
one.
Transformers movie.
The very first the classic Transformers movie.
Oh, I've never seen that. So.
Oh man,
we're doing it. Now we're definitely doing it. Let's do this. Yeah. So you could say we got the touch.
We got the touch.
Yeah. You're going to hear a lot of stuff, Taladia, from that movie that you're familiar with. So there you go. So Transformers. There you go. That works. All right. So as usual, everyone, stay heroic. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs to General Zod. Zoe the Maxibat for life. We will see you later. See ya.
Excelsior!